Reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 15. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. So, this is a very, very important verse. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So here Krishna is clearly saying, he's clearly saying that he is there in everyone's heart as the Paramatma. The Paramatma who's sitting in everyone's heart is Krishna. And then what, and as the Paramatma, what is he doing? He is helping us remember. All the remembrance that we have is because of the Paramatma. The knowledge, he's giving us the knowledge and forgetfulness. He's helping us to forget. We want to forget Krishna, he helps us to forget Krishna. We want to remember Krishna, he helps us to remember him. We want to have knowledge of Krishna, he will give us the knowledge of Krishna. And then he also helps us forget. For example, when we are sleeping at night, we forget everything. Then in the morning, he gives us remembrance. Hey, this was your desires in the earlier, yesterday. And so then he gives us knowledge of how to do. Basically, he's just fulfilling our desires. What is our desire? And by all the Vedas, I am to be known. So the Vedas are so vast. We cannot even imagine to read all the Vedas in one lifetime. And that's the reason Srila Vyasadeva, he separated them into four. The one Veda, he compiled them into four. And then there are the Puranas, the Upanishads, and the Itihasas. And what's the essence of all this knowledge? All this knowledge is that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is the Swayam Bhagavan. And then he is the compiler of the Vedanta. How is that? Because Srila Vyasadeva is an incarnation of Krishna. So it's only an empowered personality can compile the Vedas. The Vedas are so vast, you know. And then he's the knower of the Vedas because he's the original speaker of the Vedas. Krishna first spoke the Vedas directly into the heart of Lord Brahma. So he knows the Vedas. So the Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. And it is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. So, we don't remember what we were in the past life. But because we have those desires, then Krishna makes us remember, hey, you had this desire in your past life. And he gives us the knowledge. Okay, this is how you can fulfill your desire. And then he helps us. So over here, we are always thinking, oh, I can remember. See, my memory is so good. I can remember so many things. I have so much knowledge, you know. But all that Krishna is saying is coming from him, actually. It's because of him that we have this capability. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. So Krishna, he's the one who, when we act, then we get certain results. So who is the creator? It's all Krishna. So whatever results we are getting is because Krishna is giving those to us. You know, we have faith in certain demigods that, oh, if I please this demigod, I will get this result. But it is actually Krishna who allows that demigod to give us that result. And he also gives us that faith. He strengthens our faith in that demigod, because Krishna is the one who gives everything. He's the origin of everything. So Krishna is worshipable not only as the Brahma Jyoti, as the Paramatma, as Swayam Bhagwan Sri Krishna, but also as the Vedas. And the essence of the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is also Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is also Krishna. The Vedas give the direction to people, the right direction to people, so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. So the perfection of all knowledge, the perfection of all knowledge is to understand that we are eternal parts and parcels of Krishna, and we need to engage in devotional service and then go back home, back to Godhead. This is what the Vedas teach us. This is the purpose of the Vedas. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives the real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is the supplier and digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. So we say we are the controller, but we can't even produce the seeds which give us the foodstuff. Krishna gives us the seed, he gives us the rainfall, the sunshine, everything, so that we can eat food, so that we can have some strength. Then we can't even digest that food by ourselves. We don't say, oh, let me press one button and then the fire will start in the body and the food will digest. No, it's Krishna who's digesting the food. Or we don't meditate, oh, I'm going to put my power in my stomach and my food will be digested. No, it's done automatically by Krishna. It's not in our control. And then we call that we are the controllers. And then Krishna, he is the Paramatma in our heart. And from him, we are getting remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So how are we the controller? It's Krishna who is the controller, the supreme proprietor. You know, we are just in this body, and the only thing we can do in this body is desire. And based on our desire, then Krishna helps us, gives us the knowledge. Okay, you have this desire, you act in this way then. You know, he gives us the knowledge how to act. So he is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus, God is all good. God is all merciful. Anta pravishta shasta jananam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. I'm sorry? Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. So not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in this world according to the dictation from the Supreme Lord situated locally in the heart, but he receives the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. So you see, we quit our body, our last life body, but we don't remember what we were in the past life. But we have these desires, these deep desires, which are embedded in our subtle body. And then Krishna, he helps us remind, and he gives us the intelligence that, okay, you had this desire, so now you act accordingly, act in this way, because this is what you wanted to do. And then based on that, then we are suffering or enjoying based on our own desire, based on our desire. But Krishna is situated in our heart, and he gives us this opportunity. He keeps giving us the opportunity to go back to him, to understand what is the truth. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because a living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yoasa sarver Veder Giyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads and Puranas, the glories of the Supreme Lord are celebrated. So, Krishna wants us to come back. He wants us to come back. That's why he's created such vast Vedic literature. That's the only reason. By performance of Vedic rituals, discussion of the Vedic philosophy, and worship of the Lord in devotional service, he is attained. So we say we have to become servant of Krishna. But then what actually happens? We are hearing and chanting. We are nicely, blissfully, we hear about Krishna. We sing blissfully, we dance. We are dancing in front of the deity. We are chanting, we are singing, we are eating. We are enjoying. And then what is happening is Krishna, who's in our heart, he is taking a big broom and a very, very good cleaner, and cleaning all the dirty things from our heart. So he is the one who's working, and we are sitting and enjoying, eating Krishna Prasad, joyously speaking about his activities, chanting his name, singing. So who's actually the servant? Who is actually the servant? Is it us or is Krishna? We are making him do our dirty work. We are making him clean our heart. And there is no other way to do it, you know. See how kind Krishna is. He's saying, you be happy and I will help you clean your heart. Don't worry about it. How kind he is. And yet we don't want to go back to him. Yet we say, no, I am Krishna. I am God, you know. God does not exist. I am God. So, therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas give us direction by which to understand Krishna and the process of realizing him. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.4 confirms this in the following words. Tattu samanvayat. One can attain perfection in 3 stages. By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By performing the different processes, one can approach him, and at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined. So all the Vedas, it is divided into 3, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha. What is Sambandha? Means understand our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is my relationship with Krishna? That is Sambandha Gyan. Oh, I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. This is what we learn from the Vedas. And then, oh, now I understood. I'm the servant of Krishna. Now what I have to do? How can I approach him? By performing the different processes. What is the process? Devotional service, bhakti yoga, which begins with hearing and chanting. And then what happens? So this is abhideya. The bhakti yoga process is the abhideya process, the process to approach Krishna. And then what is the goal? The goal, prayojana. What is the goal? To be actually situated in our relationship with Krishna, in our personal relationship with Krishna, to be face to face with Krishna. That's the goal. To love Krishna, to be with him. That's the goal. And this is the purpose of all the Vedas. It's divided in these 3. So, any questions or comments?
Asking that as you mentioned that we get our body and everything and then we listen to the Vedas and this. So when we die and we get the new body according to the subtle that we had collected, right?
Yes.
The desires that we had collected.
Yes, according to our desire and our karma. So both are needed. Based on this, both we get our next body. Because I might desire something, but what are my activities? You know, am I doing the thing? So like
So,
we just heard in Bhagavatam that we hear about devotional service and then we follow what is being said. So both the things, the qualification, so our desire and our qualification creates our next body.
so what is when we say ki when we think something bad of somebody? We said that in Kali Yuga, just about thinking it doesn't happen.
That's
So
right.
then, why just our desires make it happen for us? Like,
Because Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. He is saying, oh, you had this desire, I'll help you fulfill the desire, what you want.
oh,
You know, he's fulfilling all of them. There's so many desires that we have, and he's keeping on fulfilling them.
okay.
Yeah. Because of our desire, he created this whole material universe for us, because we want to pretend that we are the controller, we are the creator. We wanted to pretend that. We want to enjoy separate from Krishna. He said, okay, you have this desire, I'll create this material world. So we have to purify our desires. That's what we have to do. So then the more we hear about Krishna, the more we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, our desires will be purified.
Okay.
And then
And
and with that purified desires, Krishna will make arrangements for us to engage more and more in bhakti yoga, to be engaged with, to associate with devotees. And then when we desire, we act in that way, he'll bring us back home.
okay. And then today, as you mentioned that it's Rath Yatra, so like what can we do at home?
Rath Yatra, you can watch the Rath Yatra at home on YouTube. If you have Jagannath deity, as we were hearing Nishinga Maharaj say
I
yes.
missed it out that actually it wasn't that clear. So can you explain that one?
So anyway, that you could watch the Rath Yatra on YouTube. It's going on. You could watch it. You could, if you have Jagannath deities, you could take him around your own house, you know.
Yeah, just holding them.
Yeah, you could hold them, take them around your house like a small procession. So that, because you're bringing Krishna to Vrindavan. That is the purpose of Rath Yatra. We are bringing Krishna to Vrindavan. And then we can say, Krishna, please come to my heart. We need to clean our heart and make it Vrindavan so Krishna can come and sit in our heart. You know, purify our heart. And we can read about the Rath Yatra pastime in Caitanya Charitamrta, Adi-Lila, I think chapter 19.
Okay.
Where Lord Chaitanya is taking part in the Rath Yatra festival. We could do that. You know, we could meditate on the meaning of the Rath Yatra. Yeah, the Rath Yatra happened, the first Rath Yatra was when Krishna met the gopis in Kurukshetra, but because he was surrounded by all the elephants and his soldiers and he was dressed as a prince, and so they were saying, but Krishna, you are the same Krishna, we are the same gopis, but we want to bring you to Vrindavan where you have a flute, you do not have this chakra in your hand, and you don't have a golden crown, you have a peacock feather, and you're not decorated by all this such fine ornaments and shield and armor, because he was dressed as a king. No? In Dwarka, Krishna is dressed as a king. So when he went to Kurukshetra from Dwarka with all his queens and all his the Yadus, you know, he went to Kurukshetra because it was the time of the solar eclipse, and also the Brajbasis had gone there. Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, all the gopis, they had gone there. And so, but then they saw, the gopis saw Krishna dressed as a king, and they were saying, please come to Vrindavan where you are as our Brajendra Nandan Krishna, as Shyam Sundar Krishna. We want to see you in that form. And at that time, Krishna was together with Balaram and Subhadra Maharani. And so it is a procession, is like to bring Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra Maharani to Vrindavan, to help to let them, to clean our hearts also, to make our hearts like Vrindavan, pure, so that Krishna can come and stay in our heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak about this.
Thank you for this.
Thank you. So we can stop here. Thank you for joining in today. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada. Lord, Hari Hari.